That's annoying. Testing 1, 2. You guys there? I'm so sorry. OBS sucks ass. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I'm so mad. I couldn't even save because OBS literally crashed. Like, my game was frozen and everything. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Ah! Oh, that's so annoying. Guys, I'm back. This stupid fucking OBS just exploded. Oh my god. Did I set the skills? Of course. Now I have to... Oh, there has to be a way to...
Let's begin with a
There
basic
has to be a way
explanation
to...
of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Guys, oh my god, this is so annoying. How do I skip text? We're gonna like have to skip like so much of this text because we already saw this shit.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound. According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blood? I bet it was an eye.
Oh my god.
Chihiro's, it appears it was. According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blood? I bet it was an iron pipe.
It's not an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
This is so annoying.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Guys, can you see this? I just want to make sure you guys can see this. I had to restart it. Like, I have to redo all this shit. No, not at all. I did not need to see it.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
Case closed. Why?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof any, so I don't know who that is.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
I'm sure. Case closed.
But that's impossible.
Why? What?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof for it.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck
so,
you.
Speaking, I don't know who that is.
The culprit is Case closed.
But that's
Why? What?
well, I mean, there's just no proof for it.
There's proof for it. This is so annoying. That I have to speedrun this whole thing now. To get back where we started. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the body's vision of the body.
I got it!
Oh my god. Was there an eye in there? No, it was a C. Oh my god, was it an L? It was. Fuck.
Now I understand.
Oh, so annoying. Yeah. Behavior change.
I got it.
So annoyed OBS crashed like that. We saw this.
But I didn't. You say that, but perhaps if you had a.
It's not like Alvin and the
when you
Chickmunk.
compare the modus
operandi matches.
No, that's wrong. I got it.
Yep.
I got it.
Oh, okay. This is where we left
Listen
off.
up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding Genocide Jack's victims, and GKO didn't fit it. You look at the names of other victims, what you notice is I think I figured it out.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Mm-hmm.
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all guys?
Yep.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
The way she said, I'm so
I
embarrassed.
can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the
Damn,
fast track to becoming
BL.
a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
Yeah,
It's
it
a different
is.
matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly cur!
Lowly, cur.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell? Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school? Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da! She's fully equipped. That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Yes.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Nope.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There's one other person. There he is.
Here's my answer.
What?
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
No.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on
You know, this is my thing. Imagine someone gets married to Toko, like some random plain old man, and then he finds out
Then I must
of this
ask,
split
when
personality.
would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker room, they're suspicious, very suspicious. Indeed, wouldn't you agree? Us suspicious? Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the locker room, girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. Sure. We're gonna add something called truth flashbacks. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left then you'll memorize that weak spot. Memorized phrase can only be shot once at a single truth bullet. The only one? Yeah.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't mean to do that.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro. So of course I would suggest we check the girl.
There was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting but he was acting.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a... So of course
I would suggest there was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before, but he was acting weird.
If you're
Fucking God.
presented with the opportunity to check
That's unnatural!
the victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
No, that's not it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
So we have to use one of the...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird, but he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro. So of course I would suggest
There was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird.
Oh, so then
we
it's
found
before the body. That's so weird.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found, but he was acting.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
Oh my god, shut up,
victim
Fumi!
was Chihiro. So of course I would
Oh
suggest
my
we...
There was no
God.
time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya
Oh my
was
God.
acting kind of weird before we found, but he was acting.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural!
The victim...
Victim was Chihiro.
Oh my god. It's so obnoxious.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do
What's
with
the
him.
matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and the other genocide murders, the evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible in there. What could it be, bro? It's the most obvious thing.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain when I want to kill? I use my very own special scissors. And they use those same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was some kind of rope.
That's right! It absolutely was!
then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya.
I'd never seen that rope.
Before in my life.
Oh,
Obviously, somebody else.
fuck
must have
you,
hidden away
bro!
What? The difference between you want me to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same. But Chihiro, it was some kind of.
That's right! It absolutely.
Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya.
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must
Ah!
have had it hidden away somewhere.
Fucking hell, bro.
What?
It's
The difference
literally
you
that
want me
one.
to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same. But Chihiro, it was some kind of.
That's right!
Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya.
I'd never seen.
Seen that rope before in my
That's
life.
baloney.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time? Went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Because he isn't. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
But he wouldn't win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still. There's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
Nope, that's not true.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Dumbass. My dumbass.
I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Oh my god, is Twitch just fucking up, or is it my OBS? I'm just not understanding.
Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
I just see messages, so if you guys have been talking, I have no idea. First my OBS crashed, and then Twitch was fucking with the chats prior, and now I think it was still messed up. When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys and the girls' locker room. Carpets. Oh. Posters?
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't
really
you think
said
that's
big
kind of
boob
strange?
supermodel.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
I know, right? Like, he act like big breasts. Disgusting.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the stain was scrubbed away. I think it's more, it was moved. I think Celeste, my waifu.
The stain
Co-op.
on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
Yep.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device.
But remember for the beginning, if someone's dead, you can borrow their thingy, so you don't.
Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could she have really gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
Ooh.
Shoot!
Shoot. Fuck! I went too early.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have...
No, I don't... She used the thing... Huh? I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room, no problem.
Yeah, I should have. No,
is it really? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have...
No, I don't...
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
It's so funny.
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing.
Borrowed one.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook! The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring!
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
Nope.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So
No,
I
she
guess-
could.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya!
No, you dumbass. Is that it then? She was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? So I don't know what else I can
Hold
do.
on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait! Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, alright then. I declare an official class trial recess!
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy!
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Let's go. This is gonna be the juicy part. So before I even know what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Hifumi, get the fuck out of here.
No way!
Dude, I hope he dies. I cannot stand Hifumi.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's
Shut
okay.
up, Hina!
I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Well, it sounds like it, really.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring widely at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
We made Sakura touch balls.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Poor Sakura, like, damn.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh?
Yes, because now this does prove that Chihiro was indeed killed in the boys' locker room.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought never even crossed my mind.
Because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male.
And it did.
Then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy.
It was going to have their correct gender.
So then,
well,
there should be no issue
their
with
I won't say
Makoto's
correct
initial
gender, but their
assertion.
actual gender, biological gender.
The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Yep.
So Chihiro really was killed in the
Killed in
boys'
the
locker
boys.
room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
What are you saying, Byakuya?
This is the most titillating situation!
Byakuya was like, there was no tits.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever.
Morgana,
I still
shut
think
up!
You're the killer, remember?
We do not think he is the killer.
Very interesting. This
He
has
literally
become
did not
very
even know!
interesting
Like,
indeed.
what?
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do
No.
you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But
He went a little fruity for a moment.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on
Yeah.
you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No.
No, I am not.
He's just a
acting
silly
with you
guy.
right now. I'm telling you the truth.
He's just a little silly guy.
Hard to believe.
We want to do some trolling.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then
Yeah, just a little goofy
why
moment.
do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important.
Byakuya is literally like bored 99.9% of the time,
Now then,
and he says
if
it.
it wasn't
So
me,
I think it's
who
obvious
was it?
why he did it.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
My God, bro, he didn't.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Unfortunately. But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing that we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means killer is a guy. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would have needed a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Ah, so let's count.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but
Oh, fuck.
did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be a
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new...
It's over. It's all over.
Fucking
You
hell.
want to know who saw the
Killer.
No, okay. That was actually wrong.
No, it's wrong.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever. Just hurry up and tell us.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
Realize that she doesn't mention the color. That's all I'm gonna say. And she told us the color.
Jacket and a duffel bag. But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Yeah, because he's a guy.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Mm-hmm.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Yes.
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Yes.
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Yes! Celeste told you it was blue. That's all you need from it. And that's, you'll see why here.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
There it is.
Tracksuit is black.
That is literally it.
Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must
No
know.
one else would have known the color Chihiro's besides Celeste. Yes, it did. It did.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
First of all, we know he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean this? I got it! It matched the one.
So, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit?
No, that's wrong.
That's when he slipped up.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
So I'm stuffing a tracksuit into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said
Never said
anything about
anything.
the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
There you go. And it was blue, because the last when we first spoke to her, she only told us it was blue.
Blue?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
No.
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No. That can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
she stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag.
That shit was hidden.
You just ran into him briefly. You couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
Mondo, Mondo, Mondo!
Here, you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the... That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Yes, because he kept calling Chihiro a dude, if you guys remember.
That's a good question.
The way he was... The way he... Isn't that the way he... No?
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
Nope, we are not.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
There is Chihiro's handbook.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground,
Oh.
so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
He did say it has a weak spot.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
They're hitting its weak point.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
Yep.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you can allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown.
And that's where...
Totally
and that is where we find out that Mondo is the actual killer. Because if you guys remember from the last... It's not up anymore. From the last stream, we played Danganronpa. Him and Taka went to do the contest in the hot springs. And Taka took off his clothes. Mondo did not.
Yeah,
meaning Mondo had his handbook in with him.
On the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
Well, Taka, next time you should take them more better.
If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Sauna sounds awful.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Enough with the science class.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Accident, yep.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I do.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
And Taka knows. That's why Taka starts crying. Very unfortunate.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Taka! I know you guys had like a really sexual moment in there, but we know
Mondo
it's
and
him.
Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long
Yeah,
ago,
they endured
remember?
it.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
Mm-hmm.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
Yeah, he's a silly guy. Honestly, I was pretty bummed that Mondo did it.
Wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this! Show me the proof! The actual solid proof!
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of doubt. Oh?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is, then that proves that what Makoto's...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look, Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
This isn't... What?
Let's test if what he said you broke your own. In other words, if then that proves...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
No, that's wrong.
It's not like said that they're like
Mondo,
gay,
the handbook
but
you have right now. Is it
after
really
the
yours?
Sana incident, they became like really good bros.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
The one he has right now is Leon's.
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is
Actually Mondo's, yep.
Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes, but doesn't that violate the school regulation that says that
No,
looking at your
because they're
handbook is
dead, you
prohibited?
can borrow it.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong!
Oh, we got Taka, please!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning. That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Right. She covers it. Oh fuck. How do I... Mondo's there. Where's this one? No, this one is... This is... A 3. Hold on. Girls' locker room? No. And Byakuya did his goofy moment.
Here is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
I don't know if the next panel was right.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Okay, it was.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna.
Yep.
And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence?
Taka, we literally just told you, and you're still being obnoxious about it.
You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Talk about fear time and nega time. Yep. Temple will be forced to make its max. Oh. This part's annoying. I actually hate this part.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
That went easier than expected. That part's so annoying.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with
Leon's.
In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Yep, there we go. It's
Yeah.
so disappointing.
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
That's how it ends.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just...
Give up.
Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Bye, baby girl. I wonder who. I won't actually spoil that. He's about to say it anyways.
What?
Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blacken that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada. In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. Treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Hishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
The murder this time is a sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can just hit CTRL key to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex in regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things. I kind of want to, because I promised people we'd be doing stuff, and it's already 9:42. So he'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into the weakness. To take the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that was his only way out. Now nobody will be able to say that anything about even though you're a boy, but no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here in the school, he had no choice but to accept that fact. After all, the world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course includes Chihiro's embarrassed secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
That was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would have been the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust in such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough that when someone says, even though you're a boy, it'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. So, that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be a good idea to ask someone for help, but he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then he asked them to help from there. And that person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was Mondo. Yup, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promise were. So Chihiro probably figured that if he confided into Mondo, his honor would make him keep that secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of strong man that Chihiro always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help me give some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support he would ever be able to come close to that. So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep that promise he'd made to Chihiro. What he did? Yeah, he swapped him. You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could be part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving keeping a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have been immediately suspect his identity, so try to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? And Mondo did all what he did to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is
That's
this?
impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you the embarrassing memory that secret he didn't want anyone to know? You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother, his name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. Before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brothers someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over Daya, huh? Daya created this gang and with his bare hand. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be your leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why I gotta get stronger than Daya. Just one time, no matter what.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out onto the top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. It's truck con. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, laying in his kid's brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. As a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner "The Kid Who Bested His Big Brother." Dad was gonna lose his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing games began, he realized no matter how he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mono killed his own brother, his older brother. No matter what, I couldn't tell the other gang member. I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. That's why Mondo, after I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with this kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, the fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me his secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept the secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would... What? You're right, but I want to change. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. I was so jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you. And then thwack. And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had a dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him down in the ground.
I
killed him.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory, for that he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is that what you want to say? But... is what I want to say. But unfortunately, I can't do that right now because it's time for punishing. It's fast approaching. Punishing.
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Awana, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
God damn it, Mondo. I will say, going forward, I don't really know how most cases play out, so this was the one I just knew very well. Mondo butter. I always think how this one's so shit. He literally became butter. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. Well, I did laugh just now, so I guess. It can't be! My brother! Another murder. Another murder, another execution. I want to feel again! You ain't gonna feel again until, like, you are out of here, bro. If you even get out. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Oh my god. Oh my god. Taka, please. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, had to. Okay, and if you guys are wondering why Byakuya did what he did, here it comes. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Byakuya? You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that.
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. I'm telling you. Literally, he was just feeling a little silly. He was a little silly guy. He wanted to troll a little. But I also believe he wanted to get, like, I think he did have an ulterior motive of getting Genocide Jack known so his ass wouldn't die. Because as we've seen, like, Toko is, like, obsessed with Byakuya. So I also think he just didn't want to get caught. Like, murdered by that bitch. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignore the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing
well,
to be done.
I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. And after he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't even have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So you're saying you knew the whole... Oh my god. So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would have that been? I mean... What a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would have livened things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But
But damn, man. If you hadn't figured out who, if we hadn't figured out who really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I wouldn't have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned to me and looked in the eye. He stared into my soul. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become the Blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
What? So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next? You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But, you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself. You are over-exaggerating. I will say Danganronpa has the best soundtrack in like one of like the JRPGs, I guess you'd say, or visual novels if you call it. You are over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. What do you mean? 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 Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of the noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I achieve complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled
Oh,
up.
you're so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtains closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fears and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had had more of a future than us. What the fuck? All our courage, all our efforts, our friendships felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying...
Here's a plot twist.
This is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay?
There's someone in cahoots!
After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
But who? There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Ew. Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Well, now we know there's a 16th student, and someone's in cahoots. Dot end. And we have now lost how many people? 5? 5, yeah. Can I save? Oh, I don't want the crazy diamond jacket. Yeah, let's save. Okay, so that is where we're going to end for today. Thank you guys for watching. Oh my god, let me move this over here. Thank you guys for watching. That was actually really fun. I'm pretty bummed that we had that issue with Twitch and OBS today. Not too sure why it shit out on me like that. So gonna double check that for next stream. Next stream should be Wednesday. Tomorrow most likely won't be a stream, but if I do end up streaming tomorrow, I will post on Twitter. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. My Twitter is below, all that fun stuff, and we have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Don't forget, eat your butter on your toast, or your corn, or on, you know, your popcorn, or even like buttered noodles. Anyways, bye guys!